Oh, that's okay, Andy. That's very fun. Maybe we'll clip that as a short and we can put that on our video shorts. Andy, I do want to talk about one other thing. This is not political. This is all sports, but maybe it is politics as well. But Andy, for years,
Yeah,
college athletes were granted scholarships to play sports at their respective schools. And those schools then benefited off of their name, image, and likeness. They
yeah,
would sell jerseys with the numbers on it, and then maybe they wouldn't necessarily put the name on the back of the jersey, but everybody knew that
yeah.
certain numbers reflected certain athletes at certain schools. You just kind of you always knew that part. Well, years ago, I think we're almost 4 or 5 years ago, there was a court ruling that gave the rights back to the students, the student athletes. So it was the NIL, name, image, and likeness. And now, uh, effectively, student athletes can benefit off of that. Now, what that basically means is that schools can freely pay these individuals as much as they want to. And in fact, we've seen now starting to see a lot of the numbers come in. In fact, here's an example. Brock Purdy, the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers, the best team by far in the NFL, according to our Power Five rankings,
That's
Andy.
right. That's right.
Um, and just about everybody else makes 800 and some odd $1,000 a year. Very good salary for a starting quarterback who was picked last in the entire draft, the very last, the Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep.
Compare that to Archie Manning, Arch Manning, whatever you want to call him, the heir to the Manning throne. He's the backup quarterback. I mean, he may even be the third string quarterback at the University of Texas. Andy, would you venture to guess what he's making as the third string quarterback at the University of Texas?
Dave, I have no idea, but shock me. Shock me with the number.
It's over $2 million, Andy.
Yeah.
Over $2 million to be the back, only so that he can go to that school. And maybe next year he may play, but Andy, maybe not, maybe not.
Yeah.
But but these schools have now created, in addition to just, hey, look, you have, you get your scholarship, you get all that stuff paid for. But now and look, students are paying tuition who may to help fund the sports programs. Well, now because they need all this bucket of cash to pay these quarterbacks in other players, they now create these NIL funds.
Yeah.
And so basically what it is just a bucket of money that they can pay whoever they want. And so each school now, each major school has a consortium of some sort of cash to pay. Why that is important is because now the manipulators, the exploiters, the agents have come in and swooped in. And so they see the value here. So in the transfer portal now, so now you can freely transfer to schools. You go into a portal and coaches can say, hey, who's in there? Who's not? There's a record number of people in the transfer portal, including starting quarterbacks at premier schools. So the starting quarterback at Ohio State University, who led them to what would otherwise be considered a very successful season. They were in the top 10. They lost one game to Michigan that they could have potentially won, and he threw an interception at the end. They lost one game this year, and he's in the transfer portal. Now, was he a great quarterback? No, but maybe it's because he could get more money somewhere else. Is
Yeah.
is probably what the challenge is. And so you now here are starting to see on social media also athletic directors and coaches coming up and talking about how agents are directly contacting them to say, hey, would you be interested in any of these players? In fact, there's a great clip out there, and maybe I'll send it out to everybody about the Penn State staff was talking about, hey, an agent approached them about 8 players that they might be interested, one of which was their own player. And oh, by the way, that person was not in the transfer portal. So
Yeah.
basically, the agent is saying, hey, this person is happy at their school, but but if the money is right, he may be interested in coming to your school, Andy.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is bad for college sports. They need to get some regulation here. And as much as I agree that student athletes need to benefit from their name, image, likeness. There's a lot of ways you can do it without a fucking free for all where you
Yeah.
hand a bucket of cash to the third string quarterback because his last name is Manning. And look, Arch Manning may be very good, but history tells us, Andy, that these quarterbacks who are supposed to be very great in high school and in college don't actually wind up being shit
Yeah.
in the pros. Brock Purdy, a great example, a good quarterback in college, the last quarterback picked in a very quarterback heavy draft, and he's the one, not the one who you're paying millions of dollars to. Andy, this is a fucking farce, and I'm sorry, I'm sick of it now. But Andy, that's where I'm going with NIL. I'm fucking pissed.
Yeah,